You don't know what it's like to see your mom run around trying to find her drugs. And when they didn't work fast enough, she'd run around looking everywhere for more.
Pam, have you talked to the counselor and made any efforts to try to integrate Krista back into Haley's life?
Yeah, she talks about it all the time with her therapist.
And the counselor seems to think that at the very least, right now, at least in the therapeutic space, it really should just be the counselor and Haley. I don't think that means that in the future, there couldn't be room for Krista to have much more of an active role in her daughter's life. But it does sound like Haley's got some of her own trauma and her own issues to deal with regards to how she grew up. And
yes.
Krista, you understand how gripping trauma can be. And I hope that you also understand that right now, maybe Haley's heart isn't open to you right now because she's dealing with her own trauma too. So can you tell us about what happened when Haley went to the doctors, Pam?
Yes, this was in December. Haley'd been sick, and I took her and got her some antibiotics, and she didn't get better, so I took her back to another doctor. And Haley refused to take the shot they wanted to give her, so we was going to give her some stronger antibiotics. And what I said, which triggered something in Haley, I said, Haley, they're just going to give you a little more powerful. She went absolutely ballistic. Started screaming, crying. I am not taking drugs. I will never take drugs. You don't know what it's like to see your mom run around trying to find her drugs and putting them in different bottles. And when they didn't work fast enough, she'd run around looking everywhere for more. And I said, Haley, I said, yeah, your mom's had that problem. I said, but you have to be your own person too. You can't put it all on everything related to your mom.
Right. And she needed medical treatment at the time, and she needed that education.
Yeah, and I did. I brought the doctor back in. I said, please explain to her what an antibiotic is.
Right.
Because I kept saying, it's not addictive, honey.
Right.
It's
right.
for your infection.
Pam, did you expose Krista to Xanax? Did you give her first Xanax pill?
Not that I remember.
Yes, you did.
When did this happen, Krista, in your memory?
It was bad. It was before I married my first husband. Remember, I had to have that procedure done, that LEAP procedure.
I remember.
And I was real upset about it. And it was just a 0.25. It's not your fault I turned into an addict. I'm not saying that, but that was the first Xanax that I'd ever taken.
Okay, and in fact, Krista, your addictions were alcohol, Xanax, and meth, with Xanax being really the most severe one. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, anything I could get my hands on. Loratab, opiates.